Good afternoon, everybody. This is Luke with Pro Co-op Agronomy. We're going to shoot a series of videos over the next couple days to try to make up for lost time during the winter. We did try to have some grower meetings to catch you guys up like usual on the latest, greatest happenings in the agronomy world and what to look for, how to adjust to this season's demands. And obviously that didn't happen with the COVID-19 thing going on. So we are going to send out a few videos. Hopefully this is a little easier to check out at your leisure or on the tractor versus reading a 10-page essay that I usually do in email. And so I'll try to save you from that today. All right, so the topic of this one, I think we're going to start, is what to do for a spring burn down. The goal here is to get you to think a little bit deeper about the ramifications of weed control. There's three facts that are going on here that we have to consider every year, but this one is going to be a little different. So, little to no fall spraying done. A lot of you guys didn't even get most of the way through your in-crop spraying because of dry conditions at the time. So, with that, there's a huge seed bed. There's definitely stuff that came up that went to seed and either germinated last fall or is going to germinate now with a good moisture in the ground. So the other thing is we're going to have a cold start. That's just a given. It's April 9th, I believe, today, and it sure seems like it's going to be a while before we can get in the field. So cold start, short window to seed. How do we get in front of this before things turn into a train wreck in season? So what do? There's three things I kind of think about as we look at 2020. Balancing weed emergence with the seeding, timing, and logistics. So think about that for a second. Just going out there to pre-spray with glyphosate, for example, when it's freezing every night and there's really nothing germinated, isn't going to get you very far. It's probably going to be a waste of money. However, there's soil residual chemistries, and we typically have stayed away from those because of our tight pulse rotations, but there are some with good fits that can actually give you some extended weed control, have the weeds germinate into that layer, and then grow up and die back after the crop is seeded. And then, big important topic here too, even if we are going after things that are emerged, we need to make sure that the correct adjuvant is used with the correct chemistry to make sure that that option you're using is going to actually do its job. So with that, I'm kind of standing here in the warehouse in front of our sprayer. We do have quite a few options out there, right? You probably have heard of all of them or used them at some point in your farming careers. There's the good old standards. We've got dicamba and 2,4-D, or Banville and 2,4-D, and all different combinations of that. In this example, it'd be saddle up, but we all know there's plenty of them out there. There's Flex. We use that pretty heavily through the years for hawksbeard, mare's tail, and that sort of thing. And of course, glyphosate, which I'm not standing by, obviously. But old standards for pulse crops, you got Pursuit, we've got Spartan Charge, Sharpen, Sonlan or Treflan, Buckle, kind of those old school granular, put down with the harrow type situations. All these are great, and they all have fits, and they still will have fits. They're pretty economical. But just think, in this situation this year, we may want to reevaluate and look at something with a little longer residual, a little different scenario, switch things up a bit on certain acres. So with that, I'm going to go through a few new wheat options for 2020 and a few new pulse options. So the first thing, Culex right here. We did have this out last year. Excellent residual control of hawksbeard, mare's tail, and quite a few mustards. This is something that you can do in a pre-emergent situation or even a pre-plant. You put it down, it helps the glyphosate to get taken into the emerged weeds, but if they're not up, there is 10 to 14 days of residual for those broadleaves. Zidua is a new one. This is pretty exciting. This is a whole different class of mode of action for grass control and covers a different spectrum. So same situation, you can seed first, come back before the crop is up, or even after the wheat has spiked, put this stuff down, and what you're gonna see is a residual grass control of things like stink grass, barnyard grass, potentially some Persian darnel, wild oats, pigeon grass, very good on it. And it's a group, I believe it's a group 27. It's not a group 1 or 2 that we typically use in crop. So that's Zidua. Prepare, I don't have it with me. You've probably heard of it in the past. It's been a good one as well for residual flushes of pigeon grass, mainly, and wild oats. So there's an option there. And then another new wheat option for 2020 is Spartan Charge. Of course, we've had that for years, but now this gives us the option to go in front of wheat and have some residual, especially kochia control. When you have all these different flushes come up through the year, if you have that Spartan layer down early, that's something that can get you well ahead of and keep things at bay so that you're not trying to get Christmas trees cut down or killed during crop. So that's kind of the wheat realm that we're looking at. New pulse options this year. I don't have a box of it right here, but Panther SC or generic Valor, as most of you guys know it, we've had that for quite a few years, but now is the first time we'll actually have that labeled for a spring application use ahead of peas. No lentils, but peas and chickpeas. You can put that down, and to me that is the safest residual control you can get for all your winter annuals, hawksbeard, mare's tail, probably kochia, and even some buckwheat. So think about that one. Anthem Flex, here's a totally new way of looking at things than lentils. Lentils, historically, you've been stuck with pursuit. Pursuit is fine, however, it can get a little hot and burn crops sometimes, and you are going to be weak on quite a few weed species. Plus, it puts your oil seed rotation 3 to 4 years out. So Anthem Flex, which I believe I have in the pile somewhere down below, Anthem Flex is going to be grass and broadleaf control. I would actually consider the control to be more of a suppression, but they're saying 60-70% control of kochia and Russian thistle, and that is in lentils. That's something we haven't seen before, and the crop safety on this is very good. So this is another example of more residual. You also don't have to skip canola for the next 3-4 years, so that's a big win. With that, the next one here, I still like Sharpen as far as emerged weeds. It doesn't have much for residual, but if you want a fast burn down, get things cleaned up, assuming you have the right AMS and MSO with it, that's by far the way to go. But we can also use a Sharpen Spartan mix. That way you got the best of both worlds, a little bit of residual, a lot of burn down. There's that route too. So, I did forget one more, Charger Basic. That's in the same group as Anthem and Zidua. Mainly you're gonna look at residual pigeon grass and barnyard grass control. So, a lot of residuals, a lot of different uses. The big thing is putting it on the right acre at the right time, knowing when you can keep seeding and get this stuff down. That could be a big help. So you're not actually waiting for weed emergence to spray first before you get the drill in the ground in a compressed season. With that, that kind of covers a lot of this. Of course, there's economics to all these things. There's a wide range of pricing, and one size definitely does not fit all. Your wheat species is not going to be the same as even the guy across the fence, and I think we need to take a look at that. Think about your rotations, think about your timing and logistics, and figure out a plan, and that's what Pro Co-op is here for. So with that, I think we'll close this video down and look forward to the next one when we talk about adjuvants. Thank you.